down $500,000 just the past, man, month max. And I digress, but that's one of the things that makes it absurd, the idea of paying taxes on unrealized gains, right? I hear this every day, that some theory, well, we'd only do this and do that. Can you imagine me having to pay taxes on $500,000 that then I don't even have by mid-January? So how are you going to sell off any assets, any percentage of an asset to cover unrealized gains tax by April if you lost it in January? And this happens all the time. I know they say, oh, well, it'll only apply to billionaires. I'm like, well, with inflation, give it a couple decades, a billionaire is going to be what a millionaire is today. Plus, this stuff has a way of rolling downhill. I don't know. I start getting antsy and bitching about taxes every time the season comes around. But anyway, going back to SUKU. Okay, so I had this great pick, which says it's going to be a top performer this year. I'm going to kind of explain to you the rationale behind why. And I know that I made the prediction. I said, hey, I called it like 38 cents, said this is a great buy. It went up like 200%, going above $1, and now has fallen back down with the broader market. But this has fallen, from $1 something, I think it's sitting around 60 cents. So why did this happen? Well, obviously, I say about theories, it's not great to try to pull theories out of your ass, but just looking at the buys, we have 85% of the action is buys, and a smaller percentage sell, very smaller percentage of sell. So what's going on when you see stats like that? Well, it usually means that you have these whales, in this situation, not really a whale, but larger accounts are selling, even though the majority of people are buying. And this is what causes these kind of drops. It's very frustrating because I don't think that a lot of the people that got in recently are selling. I think that these are people that either are large accounts from the early days of SUKU that have larger quantities and they just unload. It's a thing about gaining 200% is a key metric. When something jumps 200% in a day, the temptation of someone who bought a while back is high, because think, you get in, you buy $5,000, slowly builds up to 10, 15, then it goes up 200% in a day. You're there now, you got like $45,000, $50,000. So you're gonna sell, and this causes the drop, even though it is becoming more popular and more people are buying in, but they're buying in smaller amounts. So that is my theory behind that, and that's why I purchased more last night when it was touching around 55 cents. I'm going to keep on buying. I put in a weekly buy for this one. So why am I so excited? Why does this make sense? So obviously you guys know the project. They're doing NFTs, they're doing metaverse, they're doing authentication for products and stuff. These are things that other projects have done, but they're tackling in a way that I think is more effective. And they're also in trendy topics. They're doing trendy things with the NFTs and metaverse, which if you're involved in this space, this is going to be a big part of the future. But the reality is a low coin supply. Let's talk facts. I mean, a low coin supply means that not a lot of people have to get involved to see a growth in the pricing action. So what I mean is that this coin doesn't have to become that popular for it to have major pricing moves. So what we really want to try to attain here is to help support a snowball effect of popularity and see this project get more and more attention. I know some people look at this and it's like, oh, well, so, what you're saying is unnatural growth. It's like, man, listen, there's no such thing as unnatural growth, and at the end, you help support a project. That's why I talk about it, to bring more attention to it so more people will consider purchasing it. In the end, that's what you really want, is a self-supporting system that keeps on growing. And that's very difficult in a market downturn. So everything is down. So it's very hard to start something going and to see results. Someone says, this is a really good buy, get into this project. Well, if you're expecting it to go up, 200% tomorrow, that's probably not going to happen because the entire market is down. And the fact that we've seen that yesterday means that there is incredible support for this project. It's a very promising signal. I don't see it as somebody posted a chart like, oh, look, this looks like a pump and dump. And it's like, listen, this is a lot of attention went into this project. This is not a pump and dump, specifically because of the 85% buy action means that just a couple of people have sold. And now that those people sold, they're either buying back in low or they're not going to be affecting the pricing action as much. And that's a good sign. So for those reasons and many other, I'm going to keep on investing in SUKU. I just tell you because I want to cover this coin in the future. I'm going to give it a lot of support, and I'm going to keep on buying into it weekly for the course of this year. I say that because I don't want you to think that I'm just spitting this one out saying, hey, buy this and everything's gone and that's it. No, this is something that's a long-term project, something I'm going to give a lot of support to. So if you get a chance, buy some of this. Just stay steady in this. I'm telling you, this project does not need a lot of attention to do 1,000%, 10,000% in 1 year. And I don't say that lightly. I don't throw that around to be like, hey, you know what? Because some people say this just to get attention for sensationalism. Oh, this could go up, 1,000%. This could 10,000%. No, this really. And you've seen it yesterday. It went up 200% on the drop of a hat. So what we need is that sustained growth and just a little bit more exposure, really. Because this is a new coin, 2 months on Coinbase, So now is that key metric. That's why I think it's going to do really good this year, because that access, we're not even talking just Coinbase Pro, regular Coinbase, that access to this coin is to the masses. Why is it not? Why is it undervalued? Because it has not been tapped into. It has access. The masses have access to it, yet they haven't accessed it yet. Not like any other coin on freaking Coinbase. And as soon as they do, it's going to go up. And the fact that it hasn't already gives it an undervalued and an opportunity. I could ramble on for ages about this, but I'm not going to, because you guys got other things to do as the weekend. But thank you for watching, and stay safe out there. Buy red, sell green, and